Hey Taurus, sorry I got like bits of sage here. Welcome to your love reading for October 2018. We're going to do a little bit of a different spread here this month. And I'm going to show you the cards. We're going to see what's happening here with love. Those of you new to the channel, I do one reading on love for each sign each month. And then every week I do a general reading plus one love card for each sign every month. So this is going to be the love reading. And let's see what's going on here, Taurus. I'm getting 7 for you guys, Taurus. When 7 comes up in my readings, you're being asked to listen to your intuition. So for some of you, you may be dealing with a person who's telling you one thing, but your gut's telling you another. And 7 says, listen to your gut, okay? This one's off camera, but obviously I'll show you the result card. So, the heart and the focus of what's going on in the love life for Taurus in October, and again, this is a general reading. You have temperance, you have balance. Now, this is a major arcana card, so I feel a lot of you are dealing with some kind of like a karmic soulmate or like a life lesson soulmate, past life soulmate, somebody who's coming in, and for some of you maybe pushing your buttons a little bit. For some of you, this is someone who kind of maybe comes in and out of your life. For other ones of you, this is someone who maybe like you've been with this person for a while and you're like, when in the heck are we gonna move forward or do something about this relationship? Are we going to break up? Are we going to go all the way? Or if you're already committed to this person, some of you may feel like the relationships may be a little lackluster. Maybe you're feeling like it's just kind of just there, and you're wanting more clarity on what this person feels, or if you're going to end up staying together or not. But when this temperance card comes up, this has to do with balance, and this has to do with patience. So for some of you, you're maybe running out of patience with a person, with a love partner. Some of you have been single for a while, and you're like, when in the heck is my person going to show up? And you have this card coming up about patience, and you're like, I don't even want to hear about patience because I've been patient forever. So there's some kind of soul lesson or karmic situation happening here at the heart and the soul, where like the lesson at the root of it is patience and balance, like not going to extremes. All right, so this is the first card. We'll see how the rest of it's going to transpire. Manifesting, so we know at the heart and the soul there's patience here. It's manifesting into defensiveness. This is like, for some of you, you're waiting for something to go wrong. You're waiting for the shoe to drop. You're waiting for, some of you, maybe argument. Maybe some of you are dealing with a person who, like, you're trying to be patient because you feel like you have to walk around eggshells, when you're around them, or you feel like when you try to talk to them, like maybe they're shutting you out, or they're not wanting to discuss things, and that might be making you a little defensive or a little upset. Or maybe some of you feel like this person's coming at you or blaming you for everything, and here you are trying to work things out or make the relationship better, and this person just seems to be coming at you with like a negative or a critical energy, right? And this might also be why the heart and the soul of this year is balanced, because maybe some of you are blaming yourselves a lot for what's happening in the relationship, yet you need to realize that if you are dealing with somebody who's coming at you aggressively all the time, or who's consistently, faulting you or blaming you for whatever's wrong in the relationship, you're going to have to be balanced with the expectations that you have of yourself, because there's no way, that you're screwing up that bad if this person is still around, right? It's more likely, more so, you may have found yourself in a situation with someone who's taking their frustrations out on you. Because if you were really that terrible, they wouldn't be hanging with you. For some of you, that's kind of what's happening. For other ones of you, there might be some tension in a relationship, and you're trying to fix it, and you're trying to move forward, And again, this might be, you might be dealing with somebody who just is like, they get upset easily, or it's hard to talk in a peaceful way. For other ones of you who are single or who are dating, you may be having a very hard time letting a new person in. Maybe some of you are recently coming out of a really bad situation, yet you're very kind of like hungry for companionship, and you're hoping that you're going to find this new person coming in, but you have a lot of fears because you've been let down in the past. You've had these negative experiences. You've had unstable partners, some of you, or partners that maybe wanted to be with you for the wrong reasons. And so therefore you might be very guarded and very careful about letting somebody new in. The good thing about Nine of Wands, guys, is one of the messages that comes with Nine of Wands is that you've pretty much been through everything, because the last card in the Wands is 10, and 10 is completion. Like it's the cycle is done, the cycle is over. So at 9, you've pretty much seen it all by 9, right? Like you're almost done. You're almost at 10, and then 10 is done. So by 9, you've seen it all. So you know every trick in the book. You've probably dated every kind of bad news situation out there, a lot of you, and you know what the warning signs are, you know what the red flags are, you've been there before. So in terms of being afraid about letting somebody new in, as long as you're paying attention to the red flags, you have nothing to worry about, because you've seen it, you have the experience, you know. So you can go out a couple of times with a person and be like, oh, I know this kind of guy. Nope, I know this kind of lady. I've been here before. Nope, no thank you. And you're able to shut it down before you end up investing, months or even years in this bad situation. So you need to rely on your experience and keep your eyes open and not ignore like the little warning signs or the red flags. And then you don't have to be so afraid about dating or giving a new person a chance, because you'll see early on and you can protect yourself, right? So for some of you, you're coming out of a block in that way. Maybe some of you that have been feeling blocked in love or single for a long time, you're able to clear or heal that situation in that way. So this is going to be kind of like something that you're going to have to work on in love life. And this is manifesting. So for some of you, you're like, when is this relationship going to get better? Or when am I going to find my person? When is it going to happen? And maybe you want a reading and you want, a reader to throw down some cards and say, oh, it's happening in 2 weeks. Or, oh, it's happening in 3 months or whatever. And when the magician comes up, the magician is saying, it's going to happen when you pretty much manifest it, when you put the energy out there for it. Remember, I was saying there was some life lesson here. And I was saying there was something here with clearing a block, right? And the magician's confirming that. The magician is saying, this isn't like a cake you put in the oven. This isn't like some cookie recipe where you're going to time it and it's going to like be ready and you're going to just go for it and grab it and enjoy it. This is not a matter of time. It's not a factor of timing. It's a matter or a factor of healing and manifesting and creating this person or this situation in your life. But you can't do that if you're holding on to pain, if you're holding on to suffering or fear or suspicion. So these are the things that need to be cleared out of the way. And then you need to focus on what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. And then you can call in this relationship. So for a lot of you Tauruses, the month of October is going to be practice and manifesting. Another thing too is I think a lot of you are really getting caught up on the details of how this is going to happen. How, when, where, who, all of that stuff. And this is an example that I have given in the past with readings, and the roses here in the picture made me remember it again now. When people say when am I going to meet my person, and when you're in this energy situation, when this is what's going on and it's an energy or a block thing, I always say that all the rose has to do is blossom and bloom and open up. And once it does, the bee will pick up the scent and fly over to the rose. The rose doesn't grow feet and go around chasing after bees and looking for bees to like pollinate it. All it has to do is open up and be itself and live in its vibe and in its energy, and the bee will pick up the scent and come to the rose. So you need to, and I don't care if you're masculine, macho, I don't care if you're feminine, it doesn't matter, but you need to think of yourself as like that flower or that plant, you know, opening up, blooming, blossoming, and letting out that vibe, letting out that energy. And then just magnetically, you're going to be attracting the right situation naturally. That's the thing about love, you guys. Love is not a science. It's not a math. It's not something that can be strategically calculated. It's not something that can be planned and measured. It just happens. It's a force of nature. It's emotion. So you need to be in the vibration. It's not so much about what color you dyed your hair, or how you cut it, or how you dressed, or how much you weigh, or how old you are, or what coffee shop, or what bar, or what club you went to hang out at last week. It's not about those logistics. So I hope that makes sense. This next card is going to tell us where you're at in terms of like what help is going to come. And I'm so sorry guys, I've got all these little bits of sage here. I saged earlier, and it's like my sage just kind of like erupted. So let's see here with help that's coming in. So this is the Hermit, and this might be confusing for those of you who know tarot. The Hermit is actually about spending time alone, and it's about sometimes spiritual lessons or like spiritual teaching, but this really makes sense to me, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, I shuffled. You all saw me shuffle, but I want you to pay attention to something here, Taurus. You have major arcana here at the heart and center. You have major arcana in the thing that you're going to have to work on. And you have major arcana in the factor that's coming in to help. And I shuffled this deck. I shuffled like crazy. And here you have, so far, out of your 5 cards, over half of them are major arcana. So this means, Taurus, you are in a very, very crucial and important and impactful period in your life in October in terms of love and issues having to do with love, because major arcana cards come up when there's a life lesson, a life path, a life purpose, and you know, we're being put back on track. We're being put back on the right track. So whatever we came here to heal or figure out, or whatever we came here to accomplish, for those of you, all of that love life stuff that you're meant to work through, you're doing it in October. So first of all, some of you, because you're having these major life changes, you may be feeling very tired. You may be feeling very exhausted in October. So be gentle with yourself, Taurus. Take naps if you need to take naps. Go to bed early. Drink a lot of water. Go easy on yourself. You know, don't push yourself too hard. And this is going to bring me more now into this card here. So with the Hermit, like I said, it could definitely be spending quiet time alone. It could be like getting really connected with your spiritual center and your spiritual beliefs. I always say that this card makes me think of going in that journey inward and figuring out who you really are and what you really believe and what you're passionate about. And then when you come out of that hermit phase and you're kind of like rejoining society again, you're coming back as your authentic self. You're engaging in the things that are important to you or meaningful to you, and then you're finding your tribe. And it's going to be in that tribe that you're going to find your life partner or the right person for you, right? We talked about manifesting here. So this is how you're going to manifest it. By really, really going inward and figuring out who you are, what you want, and what you need. Because chances are, Taurus, because of the cards I'm seeing here, chances are, Taurus, that a lot of you have been in these relationships where you've been working really hard to fit into somebody else's life, to be flexible, to kind of like, you know, give them what they want or what they need. Like say, you know, you were with somebody who was really into music, so you got really into music and you're like, oh, sure, I like music too. Or they were into a certain kind of music, or they were really into like working out, or they were really into science, or whatever it might be. Like a lot of you were really trying to tailor yourself or edit yourself to fit in better with this person's life. And this is saying that, no, you're going to go within. You're going to figure out who you are. You're going to take off that programming. You're going to take off that editing. You're going to be you, and you're going to find your person. For other ones of you, you're going to go through some kind of spiritual healing. So you may be seeking out like an energy healer or a spiritual advisor. Some of you may be working with somebody who's going to help you. Maybe they're giving you readings, but they're also helping you with like affirmation work, or they're helping you with blockage removal. And then you're calling in or manifesting that love and the romance that you've been looking for in your love life. Your outcome card here, my Taurus friends, is Four of Cups. Four of Cups, okay? Which means that I think a lot of you are going to end up receiving some kind of offer. Some kind of offer in love. Because this is cups, and cups is love. So maybe some of you have really been going back and forth with a person, right? And then you decide, you know what, like this isn't working. Like maybe you've been waiting for someone to come back. Or maybe you've been having this really rocky relationship with someone that you're involved with. Or maybe you've been like hoping or wanting somebody to approach you or ask you out. You're going to get that. You're going to get what you've been asking for. You're going to get what you've been wanting. But I think for some of you, it's coming too little too late. But do not be discouraged by this, Taurus, because I feel like the fact that it's coming too little too late is actually being a protection for you. Because I feel Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael and Archangel Jophiel, all three of them very strongly. Archangel Michael was protecting you from a situation, and so maybe they kept this person at bay, or they kept this person a little bit distant so that you can have that magician moment, you could have that hermit moment, you could come into this new balance and then realize that, you know what, I don't want this person, or I don't want this relationship. It really isn't good for me. So they didn't like really let it come in full force, or let this person like see your worth, or let this person like, you know, see your worth or value you, or set their mind or their heart on you, until you were able to see the truth about the person or about the situation, so that you would not like be in that bad situation, or you would not accept that you know, toxic energy or whatever, what have you. Or they've been trying to get you to hold out, because a lot of you are on this verge of really having this massive spiritual awakening and ascending, and you're on this cusp of calling in a higher vibrational soulmate. So they've been wanting to hold that door open for you and get you there on that level, because they know that this other person coming in may be making you much happier. So for some of you that have been dealing with a bad situation, you're going to get an offer. For some of you, maybe it's not even necessarily a bad situation. Maybe you've just been with somebody for a really long time, and they're finally like, you know, popping the question or proposing or talking about moving in or agreeing to have a baby or whatever it might be. And you might feel like, man, I've waited so long to hear this, and now that it's here, I don't know that I want it anymore, or I don't know that it's going to bring me fulfillment. So some of you are going to have to make a tough decision. You know, are you going to go ahead and accept it, or are you going to go in a new direction? This is very much kind of like up in the air. So I'm going to pull some clarifier cards for you, Taurus, because I don't want to end it on this note. You know, it's just kind of like, okay, well, then what? Then what am I supposed to do? So let's pull some clarifiers here, because I know if it was my reading, I'd be pretty upset if it ended there. So let's pull some clarifiers here. Alright, so we've got Ace of Cups. Okay. Wow. All 3 cup cards here. So I think some of you are going for a new offer. A new relationship. Right? A new beginning. All of this kind of points at a new beginning, overcoming a disagreement, a new beginning, new love. So I think some of you are full on just saying, okay, bye sucker, see you later, I'm going for somebody new. And I think some of you are just like, look, you know, you're offering me this chance to be together, or you're offering me this relationship, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not happy with what you're bringing to the table. So if you want me in your life, you're going to have to step it up. Some of you are putting down some really real, really significant boundaries here. Really significant boundaries. So you're going to have to get very clear on what you want, right? And I think this is why this guy is here for you. A lot of you are going to get very clear on what you want, and you're going to be offered something, and you're going to say, you know what, like, thanks, but like, this isn't going to cut it for me. So like, if you're real and if you're serious, you're going to have to step it up. So, you know, guys, that is a good thing. That is a good thing that a lot of you are coming into, respecting yourself, standing up for yourself, being more assertive. Now, just as a disclaimer, one of the things I want to say, if you have left an abusive relationship where you've been dealing with someone with like scary or toxic anger, somebody who's been verbally or emotionally abusive, or somebody who has been physically violent towards you, this is not a situation where setting down a boundary is safe or good, because if you're dealing with a person like that, they're going to reoffend. They're going to do that again. So if you're trying to work something out with somebody who's been abusive, it's not going to happen unless that person is getting help and unless that person's getting counseling. And even then, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you take a break from this person until they're in a better place in their life. You know, if that, I mean, if you were my, best friend or my brother or my sister, or, you know, I would just, beg you not to go back at all, not to go back, period. But I can't, as a reader, tell you all how to live your lives. And this is a general reading anyway. But if you're dealing with an abusive situation, please walk away. Please walk away. Don't even bother looking back. But for other ones of you, of maybe just somebody who has been taking advantage, or they've been unfair, or they've been lazy in some way, then you might be kind of laying down the law with them, and you might be telling them, like, this isn't going to work out for me. This is a general reading, guys, so it may not resonate. For some of you, it may really hit home. For some of you, maybe not at all. So make sure that you check out your moon sign and your rising sign videos. Sometimes those resonate more. Also check out the pick a card readings. I'm going to do another pick a card reading in a couple of days. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe and hit notification. And you'll get a notice when those videos are up. And you will get also the weekly reading, which is already up. So check that out as well. And please, my friends, also check out AmethystAngelLight, Facebook and Instagram. I do a free card there every day. I do a free pick a card there every single day. Or you may need a private personal reading. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, AmethystAngelLight@gmail.com, or message me on my AmethystAngelLight Facebook or Instagram pages. There's a description of all the different readings I offer. I have readings starting as low as $5. And just going up depending on what you need. So let me know if I can do a private reading for you. And I hope this helps, my friends. Keep me posted. See you on social media, and see you during the week in the weekly readings. And I hope you have an amazing October.